Hey there everybody, welcome to this top 10. Now I just want to say Pokemon has been around for 20 years. That's a long time, especially for a game. And so if you think about it, when they have over 700 plus Pokemon currently available, obviously the new generation coming out soon enough, there'll be even more. But you know, if you have over 700 different types of creatures that you've created, there's going to be a few oddball ones here and there. And I want to actually cover a few of them here, and specifically the ones that involve evolution. And how just some of them just kind of don't seem to fit their prior evolutions into what they evolve into. And so yes, my name's Corey. People often refer to me as the Pokemon wrong intro. People refer to me as UTF or Hungry, or even Corey. You guys go with whatever you want. But yeah, let's move on to this list. Coming in at number 10 is our little buddy Remoraid. Now when you see Remoraid, you kind of think you're your typical fish water Pokemon. And then, you know, you train it, and you have it in your team, it becomes like your new friend, and you get him to level 25. And oh look, he's evolving into an octopus. What? What just happened? I don't understand. Like, alright, how do you go from this to this? Yeah, moving on. Next we have here Fennekin. You know that cute little Firefox starter from the Gen 6 games? You know that cute little thing that looks really cool? And then it evolves and it breaks in and you're like, oh, why is it on 2 legs? Why did they do that? It looks a lot better on 4 legs. And then it turns to Delphox and you're just like, what the hell is this thing? What did they just do? You know the Pokemon that's pretty much well renowned for being the worst starter Pokemon in history? Yeah, not sure what happened with that. I mean, they had something going good there with Fennekin as a normal like little fox Pokemon. It's all cute, and they, you know, if they left on 4 legs and didn't, you know, basically make clothing out of fur, and yeah, I don't know what they were thinking honestly, but yeah. Coming in at number 8 is our good little buddy Lotad. Now when you see Lotad, you probably don't really know what to expect when this thing evolves, and you know it's kind of just an odd Pokemon. But then, you know, you look at Lombre and it's like, okay, you kind of get it, but it's a little weird that they made it bipedal, but you know, you understand it. And then it turns into Ludicolo, and what just happened? It just went from like a lily pad with like, you know, basically a little body underneath it to a bigger lily pad with like a bigger body underneath it into a giant pineapple with a lily pad on top of it that dances. I don't get it. I don't get it. Maybe there's a trend going on here with making 4-legged Pokemon into bipedal. I think that's seems to be a trend here. Yeah. Coming in at number 7, we kind of have 2 Pokemon that have been basically written from the same storyline, but Magikarp and Feebas. You know, like 2 seemingly useless Pokemon in their initial forms, and you kind of don't expect much of them, and you pretty much ignore them. And then maybe you're just online looking at a guide for the game, and then all of a sudden you see something about Gyarados or Milotic, and you're like, holy crap, where's that Pokemon? How do I get one? I want one. And then you're like, what? It just came from Magikarp and Feebas? What? How does like a useless little fish Pokemon that Feebas by itself is super hard to even find in its original gen game turns into these powerful, amazing Pokemon? Logic, that's why. Yeah. Coming in at number 6, we have Dratini, you know, our favorite little dragon Pokemon from Gen 1. That evolves into Dragonair, and you're like, oh wow, that's really cool. Maybe Dragonair is its final form, or even maybe some probably may have thought that Gyarados was possibly its final form after Dragonair. But no, instead we get Dragonite, a orange flying dragon Pokemon that looks nothing like Dratini or Dragonair. Cause logic. Yay! Hopping into our 5th spot on this list is Spoink, the cute little pig-influenced Pokemon that sadly has to bounce forever on its tail or else it dies, according to some Dex entries. Poor little dude. Bounce on forever, buddy. Evolves into a Grumpig. What the hell? So it randomly grows legs, and arms, essentially not like its little stubs that it has before for arms, and its little magic pearl ball thing that has to bounce on its head is essentially nowhere to be seen now. So yay for growing magical legs and no longer having to bounce forever if you want to live. Yay! Coming in at number 4 is our little buddy who's been freezing all the time, Snorunt. Now when you look at Snorunt, you're like, oh, it's like a little cone essentially with some legs and a face and what you would assume to be hair. And you're like, oh, poor little dude, because he's shivering all the time. And then you look at Glalie, and you're like, how does a cone equal a sphere? It's unlogical. But remember, kids, when you're in math class from now on, a cone equals a sphere. Okay? Remember that. You'll be getting plenty of A+ on math quizzes. Just remember that. A cone equals a sphere, according to Pokemon. Sitting at the depths of the ocean is our 3rd spot, Clamperl. Now you see Clamperl, it's, oh, you know, it's your typical, basically, clam, you know, has its body inside the shell and it has its pearl. And you're like, oh, I wonder if this thing has an evolution. Maybe it just kind of turns into a larger clam or possibly even just an empty clamshell. It'd be really sad. But, you know, instead, no. What do? You give it a held item and you trade it, and then you get a magical fish from it. And guess what? You get 2 different ones. You get a bright and blue and orange one, or you get a pink and slightly purple one. Pick which colors you like, because guess what? You can have it, because a fish apparently equals a clamshell. Yay. Sitting at number 2 is Trapinch. Now don't get me wrong, I love Trapinch and the whole evolution line. I am really a big fan of dragon types, so obviously his line is going to be one of my favorites. However, when I first saw Trapinch, I was like, oh, it's pretty much, you know, Gen 3's version of Sandshrew, so eventually you probably get like a larger version of himself, maybe some other additions added on for an evolution to equal Sandslash. But no, instead it grows wings, turns into a bug thing, and then evolves into Flygon, which is like a dragon bug. But no, actually they still kept the ground typing because logic. So a little weird on that one. Like I said, I like them. I like Flygon in the whole evolution line. Just when I first saw Trapinch, I was like, oh, it's like Gen 3's Sandshrew. But no, instead of getting a ground burrowing little thing that's like a Dugtrio Sandshrew type thing, I get a dragon bug that's not even a bug type. And here are some honorable mentions. And at number 1 on this list, we have Eevee. No, hear me out. Again, this list is the most unexpected, not so much the weirdest, but more or less the unexpected. Now, when you see Eevee initially, I remember thinking, oh, is it basically going to be like a normal type version of Vulpix and Ninetales? You know, it's got like that foxness look to it and base. And I was like, oh, it's basically going to be like a normal type version of Vulpix and Ninetales. Instead, you get this magical Pokemon that evolves into essentially any type possible. Now, granted, obviously not every single type is available at this date and time, but I'm sure years down the road, there's probably going to be many more typings of what we have now, which is what, 8, I think? Yeah. So again, most unexpected would definitely be Eevee because it can literally turn into about 1 million different Pokemon. So, yeah, that's what we have at number 1, guys, Eevee. Well, that's all I have for this list, guys. So I guess you could say that this list was a little unexpected. Sorry. And I do want to say just real quick, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you guys enjoyed it, make sure you leave a like down below. Make sure you guys comment on your opinions. I'd love to hear them. And otherwise, make sure you guys subscribe for more content. And I'll see you guys later. Bye!